On Wednesday, I mentioned the fact that there was a new piece that came out about Joel Embiid. It's a very long story over on ESPN.com. And it gets into the nitty-gritty of Joel Embiid's life and career and his unwillingness to let a lot of people in and him being guarded. There's an anecdote in there about how, and I think it was a little bit on the newer side. I don't remember seeing this before, that there was a little bit of distrust between Embiid and the Sixers, even when he was initially drafted, even when Sam Hinkie was still here, about the navicular bone break and about him thinking something was still wrong and his foot wasn't healing, and that there were people within the Sixers organization that were essentially trying to tell him, nah, kind of bullshit. He just needs to be better than this, like all that kind of stuff, right? Now, it turns out that he wasn't full of shit. Remember, he still had the navicular bone injury and was going to need another surgery. And one of the things that they talk about in the story is that Sam Hinkie brought in a new person to oversee Embiid's development and his return to form after surgery. There was also a thing in there about how his initial treatment plan, he was being overseen by an intern, which seems insane, especially given his stature as a number 3 overall pick in that draft, would seem kind of crazy. Coming off of a navicular bone break, coming off of some back issues in college, you would think that perhaps head of, medicine or something would have been overseeing his plan, whatever. So Hinkie brings in something and he draws on a board a square and then a square just slightly inside of it. And he shows that this guy has 100% of his time that's going to be spent, 90% of it in that square is going to be on getting Joel Embiid healthy. And that this guy and Embiid end up kind of forming, not like a full-on friendship, but like he spends a lot of time with Embiid. And one of the things that they get into is like this idea that Embiid doesn't necessarily trust a lot of people, doesn't let a lot of people in.